My Atari! Turn off all the lights and bask in the glory of a 2-bit sprite. I stood in line when I was 9, bought burger time and left the world behind. And out my speakers, Hubert speaks, won't offend my peepers cause his words are bleak. My Atari's on a stand with an uneven height, so I use my Xbox just to prop it up right. My Atari still works after all these years, from when it first appeared on sale at Sears. We'll be together forever. I named it Heather and I'll never get sick of pushing the reset lever. My Atari! My Atari! Yo, what's up?
My Atari! Driving down the street at night, now I'm bumping and jumping to a staggering height. It always brightens up
my day.
And just last
Friday,
I found myself trying to kill a frog on the highway. You can't go
wrong
with games like
Pong.
When on Pitfall, the snake
bit me
in the
swamp,
and I slide left and right. I'm putting up a fight with seals, waiting lane, space invaders in my sight. And now I'm just sitting here catching some bombs.
I can play while on the toilet cause my phone is the ROMs. My Atari! My Atari! Now, me and my Atari play the illest games. I like to duck and jump over dragon flames. We slay all dragons, red, yellow, and green. And the bat carries corpses from screen to screen. Out of space and underground when I play my game. I shoot everything, it all looks the same. I'm set on expert every game I play. Even Strawberry Shortcake has me playing all day. My Atari! My Atari!
Now the games that I possess have quite a range. Myself, I've got 400 games. I play Taz a lot, till it eats his field. And then Kool-Aid Man when it's time to get ill. Like Donkey Kong, and I got the high score before Mario dunked Pauline for that score.
My Atari didn't always bring good games. Pac-Man was lame, Custer's Revenge was insane. And I hope the Reese's cause an allergy for E.T., cause that's the game that brought down the whole industry. At a party that I threw for all the boys, we played asteroids till we could hemorrhoids. My Atari lets me play with the stick in my lap, with a couple teeth marks cause I needed a snap. Whether in a space battle or rustling cattle, you won't see me without my joystick or paddle. My Atari!
And I'm headed to the arcade. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm bringing everything I made. I got a callus on my finger and my shoulder's hurting too. I'm gonna eat them all up just as soon as they turn blue. 'Cause I got Pac-Man fever. It's driving me crazy.
Hey, everybody, how are we doing? Welcome to the Atari Network podcast. I am one half of your usual host, 7800 Pro Gamer, John, whatever you want to call me. Vinny has not shown up yet. Oh, wait, we have a very special guest. Right in the nick of time, as always, we have Vinny Vineyard. Hey, he showed up. He made it.
How you doing, beautiful? How long have you been rocking and rolling?
I played our old countdown to kind of buy some time, and I literally just went live. So,
oh my god,
what shirt is that?
I have no idea.
Oh, I didn't know why you were pulling it up. Oh, show enough.
Show enough.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Who's the master? Well, hey man, thank you for doing this show, dude. I know you've been very busy this week. You got a lot of stuff going on. You got a busy day today.
Yeah, it's a busy day. We're doing I'm doing a interview right after this with a friend of the channel. We're gonna find out. He's gonna tell us how Atari games are made, 2600 and 7800. So,
well, when a programmer and a piece of plastic love each other very much. Well, anyway, I don't want to ruin everything, but I do want to say that we are sponsored this week by Hauntlanta, March 14th through 16th. I will be in Hauntlanta, the Paranormal Convention and the Horror Con Convention, and you can come see me. I can sign your boob if you're down there. So make sure you check out Hauntlanta. I keep saying Hauntlanta. Hauntlanta.com.
What is it? Is it
It's a convention. I'll be down there like selling our movies and our ghost show wrestling ghosts. I'll also be on a panel and I don't know, I'll juggle or something. We'll do some stuff.
Gotcha. Glad to see Ramey, friend of the channel, Ramey, in the chat. He had surgery I think a few days ago. So I'm glad to see that he's here and okay. Glad to see you, Ramey. And for everybody else that's joining us, glad to see everybody in the chat. So, come down and see Vinny. Have him sign your boobs. That's the only thing he'll sign, right? You only sign boobs.
Well, if you're a guy, I'll sign your taint. But that's
okay, gotcha. That explains a lot. Okay, so we're here, Vinny. There's been I guess something sort of decisive in the news, Atari wise, and it seemed like we both kind of have, I don't know if you want to say strong, but we both have opinions on it. Do you want to just jump right into it, or do you?
Sure. So
the Atari VCS, as we all know, is Atari's newest console. It's like their new, I don't want to say competition to like the Switch and stuff, but it's their most modern console. And recently there was a Black Friday sale, and I understand that they sold out most of their inventory. There's like one or two of the minor bundles you can get, but you can no longer get like the speaker hat bundle, I think, and they sold out of the one everybody wants. Yep. So we were all excited. Lots of new people have the VCS, and we were just told that the DLC is not coming to the VCS, despite what they promised before. And we were told before, I don't think they never actually announced this to like the masses, but I think it was well known that we were going to get it for free, right, Vinny? On the VCS?
The Atari 50th anniversary celebration for the Atari VCS. And Digital Eclipse promised they were going to there's two new DLCs for the Atari 50th, and I guess in December, I think they said they were going to give the two DLCs to people that own the VCS for free. And then people were sitting around looking like dorks waiting. They were looking up at through their window, looking up at the sky, looking for Santa Claus. And he never came, folks. You're a Jew. You didn't know it, but you're Jewish. And it never came. And so they just recently said this week, I know a lot of people probably already talked about this, but they already said this week that it's not viable, which I think doesn't make any sense.
Is that the official? They said not viable.
The official, there is the official.
Let me see if I can find it.
The official statement. Yeah, we should probably have that. But the official statements basically said that they couldn't do it. It wasn't that they didn't want to do it, but I was like, you're going to have a hard time porting over in television games. That's going to break the VCS. Give me a break, you know? Right. So, I think they let's see, Jeremiah Thomas, David Page told us we should get it for free. I don't think Digital Eclipse ever made any public comment about it. I don't know. I feel like there was some sort of official comment about it, because why would they say it's not happening if it was like a rumor?
That's true. Okay, I think I found it here.
All right. We got breaking news here.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me remember how I used to do this. What a great show that we do here. we learn as we do. I think
if you watch every podcast on the internet, there's always every 10 minutes they're sitting there in the beginning of the show, they're trying to figure out how the microphone works. All right, so read that bad boy.
So this is from Trogdaro Busto. He has the Fuji next to him. Atari and Digital Eclipse have been evaluating our options for bringing the latest Atari 50 DLC content, the first console war in the wider world of Atari, to the VCS and GOG storefronts, and we have come to the conclusion that this content will not be released on the VCS or GOG. We know this will be unwelcome news. The studio's proprietary development tools don't allow for this content to be efficiently replatformed to the VCS and GOG platforms. We will continue to look into solutions, but at this point, there's not an active project to make the DLCs or extended edition available, and we wanted to let the community know. So that's the official, I guess, announcement. And yeah, it sucked. I think like myself, I think I talked to you, it was maybe 2 years ago now already. It's crazy how time flies. I was considering the Switch or the VCS, and you told me that you liked the VCS, but you told me to get the Switch. And of course, I don't listen to anything Vinny says, so I got the VCS. And that's my only way of really playing Atari's new games is via the VCS. So this announcement basically said that I won't be able to play it, is how I read it. And it, again, I wanted to support Atari. It feels like Atari makes it hard to support them sometimes. That's just how I feel. Like, I wanted to support them. I got the VCS because I want to be an Atari fan, and they're like, oh, well, now we're going to bend you over for your trouble, which again is kind of, it's a video game system, but.
So what do you think? Do you think they're starting to pull their support away from the Atari VCS, or do you think it's something like, because I do remember something along the lines that you were going to have to install like a big honking chunk of memory in the VCS to download this new content, which I have no idea why. Well, here, Obsidian just said it's about the size of the DLC. So, thinking about, is this going to be the end of the VCS? I mean, I don't think this looks good.
No,
for the future of the VCS, but it may not be the end. It may not be the end of it, but it doesn't look good.
I don't think. See, again, and I don't know if it's widely known, but I don't think ever since Wade Rosen took over, the VCS has not been an integral part to Atari's plan. It just hasn't, and it shows in the fact that they don't patch the stuff. They don't send the product out working about 50% of the time. That took them forever to get the zip code glitch dealt with.
Man, that's true.
I just don't think it's important to them. I don't think it's important to them as a company, and I really don't think it's, like, for myself, it's easy to take that personally, but I don't think it is. I just think that it's a project that was inherited by Wade Rosen's Atari from the previous Atari, and they wanted to support it, but only in the bare minimum way. So I think not necessarily the writing is on the wall. I just don't think there's ever been a wall to write on to begin with, is kind of my feeling.
I thought they did pretty well in the last 2
Yeah.
years. I thought 2023 and 2024.
All things
I thought
considered, yeah.
I thought there was a lot of, because there was a lot of games. If I remember correctly, there were a lot of the, I don't know if you call them AAA games, but a lot of the games they released on the VCS, they initially said they weren't. Like I think Lunar Lander Beyond wasn't going to be released, and it was. And I think Yars Rising, I may be lying about that one. I think Lunar Lander, hello, look at my little poop head here.
Hey, look at that thing.
Yes, this is an alpaca. Look, my little Shih Tzu's into BDSM. She's got her own. We're supporting her. She wears this little sexual thing around all day.
Yeah, little gimp harness or whatever.
Yeah, but she's a bad girl. Anyway, yeah, man, I think it doesn't look good. And I know I've been going around, and there's a lot of people who are very. Here's the thing: the Atari VCS. How many systems do you think they sold? 15,000.
Yeah,
10,000.
15 to 20,000 at this. I think after the latest round. I don't know. Let's say 10 to 15. Let's be.
So I mean, that's not a lot, man. So I mean, even if they sold a $30 game to every owner, you're still not making. It's like a $300,000 move. I mean, whatever they do for the VCS, they're not making a huge amount of money. And anything I feel like we get, because like you said, it's like the New York Jets. You know, they hired a new coach. So how loyal are they going to be to some of these terrible players? You know, it's like the new coach is going to want to replace that after a while. Now, again, let's see, what does this guy say? I thought, Chris, what did he say?
He bought the VCS this Christmas knowing it was going to give him problems, and it did. It's a great-looking compact PC for me to play my Steam and GOG library from the DOS age and early 2000s.
I mean, this is what I told. I think I famously told the story about the three gay guys that live in a shed that wear the dog masks that are customers of mine. And the guys, one of them's deaf. And I was like, please don't buy the VCS, because it's not for regular human beings. It's for people who are tech oriented, and they don't mind having a puzzle. It's already out of the gate. It's already on the left. We're jumping out on the left foot, and this doesn't really surprise me. It just makes me wonder, what are they going to do as far as other games? Because to be honest, and again, this may be the most, she's biting me. This may be the most controversial thing we say on the show. Those two DLCs didn't set the world on fire to me. What is it? You get an Intellivision one, and what's the other one? I can't even remember.
And the Intellivision one is all M Network. There's no Intellivision in it, is the other thing. And then the other one was I can't remember now off the top of my head. But no, that's actually that works to your point, because I cannot remember what the other one even was. The Wider World of Atari, says Jeremiah, which again, that encompasses what? The third party games, I guess, or more.
I used to remember what it was.
Yeah,
we're sitting here doing this show. I overslept, by the way. That's why I was a little late. So I was up until like 7 a.m. this morning.
Atari loves Berserk. I don't know why they love Berserk so much.
They bought Berserk.
It's a great game. Yeah,
they are cashing that mother in, boy.
Yeah,
they're like, that was the game they really wanted back in the day, I guess.
It must be, yeah.
We should need that game.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. And the thing is, they have supported it extremely well, and I think it's because of the community. I don't think they wanted to burn its hardcore fans, and they still don't. I think what they're doing now proves they don't want to burn their hardcore fans. They know who they can rely on, and they don't want to lose us. They can't afford to lose any customers, honestly.
No, because they keep selling us crap every 3
and we
weeks.
buy it. Yeah. We buy their decanters and their But
Well,
anyway,
have you seen what's coming out? What their announcement was this week?
I got an email and I didn't look into it yet. What is it?
What? The Atari Network? It patches.
Been-
You need some
Oh,
patches.
yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
1980? Are we in a dirt bike gang? Who in the world needs patches at this age? We're gonna sew them on a denim jacket. But yeah, there's a, and it's also like there's this is so weird. And again, I looked at the patches and I was like, hey, I want those. But it was like one of them. There's like a couple of them. There's only one, and then there's a couple of them. There's like 2 or 3, and there's some that they're like 100. And so there's they're setting up a hierarchy in the dirt bike gang denim jacket patch collection.
Did you see the other thing they released? The Asteroids watch?
Yeah, $500.
$500. Oh my god! I wanted that. Like I wear watches and stuff. Like I wanted the Asteroids watch, and no, no.
I bought. You remember the watch they had a couple years ago? You see this Jay? I can't remember the guy's name. You see that poster there in the back there?
Yeah. Yep.
With next to the. They released a watch that looked like that, and I found one on eBay for a really good price, and it came, and I swear to God, I don't hate that I bought it, but the packaging was really kind of crappy, and the watch looks really cheap. I mean, it was only 80, and it doesn't even really look good sitting around, but on the advertisements, it looked great. But we're not here poo-pooing on all Atari stuff, but it's just kind of funny how, hey guys, maybe release games.
Some more games. But to get back on topic, so Atari has offered a solution to VCS owners. They heard the outcry. They obviously, VCS owners were not happy, and VCS owners represent their core audience. Let's be honest. I mean, I'd say of the 20,000 consoles they sold, it was probably all to Atarians, except for maybe 2,000 of them. Just a small percentage was probably not initially Atari fans. But anyway, they offered us a solution. Atari has made an offer to the VCS owners, and they said that all VCS 800 owners who have the Atari 50th as of January 27th, so you can't go buy it now and get a code and double dip, I guess. You can get a code for the game, DLC, or both on a console of your choice. And in the little ticker below, I have the website and instructions on how to do it. So that's actually pretty generous. They're giving their best, arguably their best, biggest release, and the DLC for free to VCS owners. And that's pretty generous, won't you think? Or do you agree or disagree?
Yes, I think, when we were talking about doing the show, you were like, you want to do a diametrically opposed opinion. And I love the thumbnail where I'm on the side of the nerds pointing at you.
Did you like that?
I did. I don't know if I'd ever, I guess I'm there I'm going to give them wedgies later. I don't think I'd ever be right. I'd be over there with you with the knives.
I kind of thought of that. Yeah, I kind of thought of that afterwards.
But I would say this. I think it's good. They didn't have to do anything. They don't have to do jack diddly squat. So I do think that's good. Right. But like with you don't have anything but in a VCS. And also the reason everybody bellyached for the DLC for the Atari 50th anniversary celebration to be on the VCS anyway was because there were unique ways to control some of the games. So some of the spinner games and paddle games could be controlled better on the VCS than any other system. Now, I don't think any of these new Atari games or the M Network games will be utilizing the classic controller in a unique way. However, now you're going to have to basically use 2 Atari VCS or Atari 50th celebration games. One's on the Switch, and then one's going to be on your VCS. Kind of, I don't know. It's not clean. It doesn't. It's kind of. They didn't have to do it, but they did. No. But they did, and I thank you, as the song goes. But we'll see how this rolls out too, because I never got an email with a code either.
No, and you won't. The one thing I don't like about Atari, and this is purely a business, it's an idea in business, and it makes a lot of sense. So they are giving it out for free. You do qualify, Benny, but they will not reach out to you. So they are not going to say, "Hey, our records indicate that you qualify. We apologize. You purchased it. You can't get the DLC. Here's our olive branch." Instead, you have to go to them and say, "Hey, I think I qualify." You go to their website. It's all in this ticker that's going down on the bottom. You go to their website. There's a drop down box. You click an option, and it opens up an email basically for you with all the addresses in there. And then you tell them, and now you got to make sure you're using the same email that your receipts come to when you buy VCS games. And you fill out their thing, send them the email, and then they send you a code. So,
but
again,
code yet.
What's that?
I haven't got the code. I did the thing, and I didn't get the code.
You did do the thing?
Yeah.
Atari notoriously takes forever. Let me see if I can present something to you that's sort of relevant, but not while we're doing this. But Atari, their customer service has been horrible for quite some time. And I understand that even though I think me and you, when we think Atari, we think big company, even just because, we remember when Atari wasn't important, but they're not. And I think I've heard that they only have one customer service person that's basically like addressing all these emails and stuff, is what I heard. It might be more now, but I heard their actual like employees in this area are, one or two people at most. So it takes them forever to get back to anybody. And I want to show you.
Yeah. Well, I have evidence of that myself.
Yeah. Where did I close it?
I think they're using now. I don't know what you're going to show me. I don't want to blow the gimmick.
Well, this is my personal experience from a year and a half ago, and I was putting it into a recent video, and I don't know if I'm going to do that video now or not. But this was my interaction with Atari. I took out the credit card numbers and stuff. Now, this is only one part of it. So I started reaching out to them in September. The issue was resolved November 9th, and that was after the wrong credit card was refunded, after the wrong amount was refunded. Some guy somewhere got a random refund and probably didn't know why, but was thrilled because I'm sure they got their product. And it literally would take, you can see my last correspondence was October 26, 2023, and I got an answer back on November 9th, 2023. So how was that? 14 days later, I got an answer. So,
well, just even what happened with me, I ordered on one of their sales a wired gamepad because I wanted to try the new gamepad. I don't care about wireless stuff. All my Atari stuff's not in my big living room or anything. So anyway, they had one for like $20, and I got a copy of Ninja Golf, and then I got another copy of Ninja Golf, and I ordered the games, the 7800 plus line, and then I filled out the thing. Hey, you gave me the wrong jazz.
Yeah.
And then somebody named Cush Money. Word up, your dog likes that guy. Cush Money is actually an employee of Night Dive Studios. And so that person works for Night Dive, which is a company that Atari has recently acquired. So it's kind of like they acquired the customer service group from Night Dive Studios, I think.
Yeah.
They're using them guys. But it's taken until this week. This happened. I ordered the thing in November. I got it in December. And then a couple of days ago, they agreed, okay, we're going to send you the controller, give us Ninja Golf back. Fat chance that's happening. But anyway, I'm going to do it because I don't need 3 Ninja Golfs.
Right.
But anyway, and I want to be in the Atari good graces because maybe one day they'll give me a VIP machine of some sort to review.
Right. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I doubt it. But anyway, yeah, it just took forever. And we're not belly aching and stuff, but maybe they have improved since you've had that issue, but it still seems that took 2 months.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it takes a long time. And I honestly, I don't, think it's the employees' fault. I think they're probably, again, overworked, getting a ton of emails. They probably can't answer a lot of stuff themselves. They have to either refer to, the sheet, or go to another department, email them, try to get an answer, and then maybe they don't get back to it. It's just one of those things. I get it, and I feel bad for them. But ultimately, what we're finding out is the Atari 50 DLC will never come to the VCS. And the big question...
I don't like how the finality of what you just said.
Right, but it will not.
It will never. There's no hope.
And the question that I think a lot of people that this has brought up is this the nail in the coffin for the VCS? And I don't think so. Again, I don't think Atari is, and as people in the comments, we'll highlight some comments and reply to them towards the end of the show here. But I think as some people are saying, is this the nail in the coffin? They haven't been promoting the VCS. I don't think anything's going to change for the foreseeable future. So they're not going to promote it. They haven't been promoting the VCS. You go to Atari.com, you don't see the VCS anywhere unless you click on the store page. They have their ticker of 7800 plus, decanter set, and brand new t-shirts, gridiron shirts and stuff. But you never see VCS on there, and you never will, and they won't promote it.
How long that's been the case? I wonder if that was the case in 23 or 24.
I save all my components to my videos now, and I think I have videos of the Atari website from as far back as 2023, so I could check. Yeah, because you're right. Yeah.
I wonder when they started taking the foot off the gas, trying to get rid
I
of
don't think they ever put it on. I don't think they were too worried. Like, I think they were willing to sit on the stock and sell it. And whenever they run out, and that's it. Now they'll never make another run of VCSs. You can mark my words on that. It will never re-enter production. It has notoriously left production, and they said they were looking at other avenues. It's never going to re-enter production. Whatever they have now is what's out there, and it seems to be more than sufficient for the demand. So,
there's not lines of people lining up outside Sunnyvale, California, screaming that they want the VCS.
Right. Where's the VCS? So I think they're just content to sit on it, and when it sells out, and great. And then they'll run a sale twice a year on it and sell a bunch of them, and then they figured at this rate they'll be sold out by 2027 or something. I think they're sufficiently happy to do that, and I think they will continue to support it the way they are now, which is doing as little as possible, because you can't tell me that they're doing anything beyond the bare minimum of just having the servers up, approving third-party development. We know Fatal Run won't be on the VCS, and that's an issue again of...
There's people that think it still will. I see people going, Fatal Run. It's like there is no big Atari game released or announced for the VCS this year. But there's also, besides Fatal Run, is there another game they've announced?
Ooh, did they put up VCS shirts? I'm sorry, Vinny. I just saw that comment, and that's promotion if they did. I'm sorry. What did you just ask?
So some people have said, hey, they're not going to put Fatal Run 2089
right,
on VCS. And so, and there's problems with the Unreal Engine, which doesn't make any sense to me that the VCS couldn't run. I have no idea. I'm not a tech guy, but it just seems strange because in PC mode, they can run the Unreal Engine easy. So,
yeah.
But
that's a strange
point. The point that I was making, though, was like, I don't know if Atari has announced I don't know another term to use. I know this is I'm going to do this every time with the quotation marks. AAA game. They're not going to. I don't know. Besides Fatal Run, have they announced? And I guess the Bubsy collection, which I would consider that anyway. But have they announced an original AAA game besides that this year? And I don't think they have.
I don't think they have either. And again, I could be wrong. The chat will let us know here in a second, I'm sure. But
The people in the chat need to have their own show. They're much smarter than we are.
yeah, you guys should be on this side. Me and
Yeah.
Vinny should be commenting.
So they just released Atari VCS.
I'm looking. I don't see any Atari VCS shirts. So maybe they announced them as in they'll be up soon. I don't know, but I don't see anything on Atari VCS shirts. So if anybody knows more on that, that's interesting. But yeah, I have not heard of any new what do you want to say, first party games coming to the VCS. I think or anywhere. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And that's strange too. I think, well, this is usually the time of year notoriously for video games where things calm down for a bit. So usually from after the holidays till maybe March, things kind of quiet down and then they start to ramp back up for, the new year and stuff. I don't know if that's still how it is, because I'm still thinking back to, that was back in the 90s when they had to produce the stuff and print them, and there was no reason to when after the holidays, I guess. Oh, Atari Club. It might be for Atari Club members only. Let me check that. If it is, that's.
Are you in the club? Are you cool enough, John, to be in the club?
Maybe not.
I never. A bunch of high schoolers told me to join the club, and I went down to the wharf and got beat up by a homeless guy. And he tried to get my pants down. I couldn't find the club myself.
Uh-oh.
Hey, let me let's give our fans a little insight. So this week you got mad at me a little bit because the craziest thing happened. I want to say what happened for this. So I got an email from a guy, was it Mike's Gaming Gala and Retro Bliss, I think, and they had a podcast. And they said, hey, would you like to be on our podcast? I said, sure. Now, I am on podcasts all the time with the paranormal stuff, movies, whatever, man. Like wrestling a lot. And I was like, this is cool. I've not really been invited to be on a podcast. And so they invite me on the podcast. We have a great time. And they denigrate Atari a little bit. And they're like, dude, you were awesome. Thanks for being on the show. There was a lot of energy. They had a lot of viewers, a lot of podcasts that you and I do have like 6 guys and they have like 6 viewers or whatever. And you're like, what are you guys doing a podcast for? But they did another video after that where they called me the Pro System Gamer. And you were like, what? Did you tell them that you were the Pro System Gamer?
And well, no, that actually, yeah, that wasn't necessarily it. That's when I first, because you said you wanted to do this podcast and I was like, or do an episode, and you brought this topic up. And I was kind of just not paying attention to it because whatever. So I started to look into it, and it was funny because the first video I click on, in the first 10 minutes, he was looking at Dad as a Jokes video, and it was that Mike's Gaming Gala, who does a pretty good show actually. So you guys should check them out. I'm sure they do if they check us out.
All 3 of them guys are really good. They're articulate.
Yeah. Who else?
Sound good. Yeah.
Who else was it that was on there? Gaming Gala and
Retro Bliss. That's his podcast. And then there was another one that the guy makes. He's kind of like OG Hugo. He kind of makes his own retro, and I can't remember the guy, but it's like some sort of retro controller guy.
So I seen that he said, we had Vinny, the 7800 Pro Gamer, on, and I left a message. I was like, well, Vinny's not the 7800 Pro Gamer. He said, well, he was on a podcast, which I was kind of half aware of. Somebody told me about it. I think it was Jolt told me about it on the Discord. And I was like, well, I wish he would have told me. I would have helped him promote it, but I didn't care. So I'm like, well, let me see what happened on this. And when he introduced you, he said, Atari Network did a great video on this topic. So I thought it'd be great to have him on. And here he is, Vinny, Vinny Pro Gamer. And
yeah.
You didn't correct him or anything.
I was totally oblivious that he thought. I kept thinking he was talking about our podcast, the year-end podcast thing, and there was a podcast you were on, and you said these guys want to have you on. I thought it was them, and it wasn't. And they thought you were I, and I was you. And so if you watch that,
here's the thing: Vinny shows up usually like 5 minutes late to the podcast, and then we hit live and we just go. So I imagine that's something similar. You were getting your hat shined up or whatever, and then
Right.
and then they throw you on. But at the time, I'm like, you had just told me too that you got a promotion that you wanted to promote, which is the Hauntlanta. Make sure you guys check that out over on their
March.
website, and in March you come have Benny sign your taint or your boobs,
depending on your sex, or
depending
gender.
on your gender, sex. I don't know,
either one.
But anyway, so he just told me that, so I'm like, so this guy is getting promotions off of my name and then telling people, hey, I did this video. And so I kind of, stopped the video, and I kind of accused you of a few things.
You were a cheese, and it was a big misunderstanding. And the promotion I got is through the movies, not through
BG
Atari.
Retro Mods was the other guy on the show.
But the reason I bring that up is when I was doing the interview and they thought I was you, they were very surprised I was so articulate because they thought I was from Toledo.
They're used to my mush mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. There was no gang fight in the back bay window. No, but they were talking about Atari's problems and customer service and the public, because they're not Atari homers like we are. They like Atari, but they're not sold on everything. Like, we love Atari more than they probably do a little bit. But they, they were bringing up all this stuff about with the VCS and the public perception, and they were pretty bleak about the future of the Atari VCS.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'm quite there. There are some people who are VCS true believers.
Oh yeah,
and the Atari to them is the VCS.
Yeah,
they don't care about the plus lines or the game station goes or any of this. They don't care that there's a game being released on Xbox. They don't care about any of that stuff. They care about the VCS, and I think they are their taint and their little butthole is probably getting really tight because it does seem like the foot is coming off the gas a little bit. And I think it's something we all need to prepare for. If anybody likes the VCS,
I think Dad is a joke on YouTube, and I think he does a lot on Facebook. Is another guy like you're explaining right now, like a diehard beat to him. Atari is the VCS right now, and vice versa. And they're upset. I mean, you're right. These people are upset, but it's such a small group, and the people I want to say that are bleak, like the non-Atari homers, as we're kind of dubbing them. I think they've been bleak on it since the beginning. And I think this is just sort of vindicating how they feel. And they kind of feel like, well, see, there is no future here. And this is kind of proving our point. How I would argue, if you just got a VCS, I don't think it's going anywhere. And I think you'll get great third-party games as long as people like Obsidian and others are willing to release stuff. I have another guy I'm talking to soon who is planning on porting several of his games to the VCS. I think you'll have probably a good 2 or 3 years of third-party stuff coming. Maybe that last year is really going to dwindle, and the last year might be like a couple releases. But I think you're going to be okay as far as stuff being released and them maintaining the servers as long as it's viable for them to do so. But I think Atari themselves supporting it and releasing their own games on it, I think, that's probably pretty much over. I think that's...
They might squeeze out a couple before it's over with.
And I think they will do so when it lines up that they can, but they are obviously not planning around it. So like Fatal Run, they could have said, nope, we got to use some other engine because it has to run on the VCS. That obvious, they didn't care. Like, it just isn't a concern for them. So if something lines up where they can, they will, is what I think.
So here's what I would do. If you own a VCS and there are games that you're like, I don't know. You're like Jeff Goldblum. Oh, yeah. My boy. I don't know. Oh, and there's games that you don't know are going to be around. Like I maybe, to me, I haven't bought Quamp 2 yet, and I like the game.
Oh, wow.
And there's a couple others. Yeah. And I'm going to wait for the next sale. And I'm going to go get all the games that I haven't picked up. And I got to say, I don't want to sit there and start having a funeral for the VCS. It was supported for 5 years. I think it's probably going to be, there's going to be games for it, I think, all this year. Now, what quality of games They could be the weird little independent games and the small company games. That's it. I don't know. They haven't talked about recharge games anymore. There's no evidence of any more 7800 games, which I was really excited for being released on the system.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that that's happening. Because those were always surprises anyway. It was always like, did you see? There was never an announcement.
They might have ran out of 7800 games that they have the rights to.
Well, I'm talking about the homebrew games. Like,
yeah. I think we'll see more of those.
I hope so. That to me is a huge plus.
Yep.
Especially since the logjam and Atari age, where you're like, I bought a game back when I had hair in this part of my head, and now I'm bald back here, and I still don't have that damn game. But I think you snipe the store and you get ready for the end, and just it's like when your great grandma was dying, we all knew she wasn't going to last forever, and you just start getting that in your mind, and we'll be all right.
They should release home. You're right. That is awesome, and that would be easy for them to do too. Release the 7800 homebrew, and then the 2600, the Jaguar stuff. They have emulators that work on the VCS that run that stuff, and all they got to do is package it up and put $8.99 on it and sell it as standalone stuff. I think that would be a
large percentage of the population. It's the only way they can really play EXO and Artie and Harpy's Curse and stuff like that, because it's not there. It's quote unquote going to be released, but it's not been physically released for the large percentage of us. But I love the system, and I it's not great news. I like playing Atari games on the Atari VCS, and I feel like with the recharge games, especially, and even the 50th celebration, I feel like Atari, it's like the World Championship. If you have the top score on the online leaderboards on the VCS, it's kind of like, to me, it's like that's the World Championship. Going to the Steam and so something else like that. It's like that's a lesser thing you can brag about.
This I think was the best reason to buy the VCS.
Yep.
And because it can do that.
Yeah.
I think that was underutilized.
Sit and spin.
I love sitting and spinning.
That's what they told me at the wharf when I tried to join the club.
Right.
After they start grabbing at my pants.
Let's see some of these comments. And guys, if you ever want your comments read early, you can always super chat. And
this man. Get this guy paid.
We will drop it and we will talk your stuff. But
hey, what is behind you on that screen before we do that? It says Vinny Vineyard on the. What is that?
That's Vinny Vaders. That's a game that ECDHE, aka Crawl on the Discord, worked on for me. And it's basically Space Invader. It's sort of a Space Invaders Galaxian mashup where Vinny is. Let me.
Does it play, or is that just a demo?
Yeah, it plays. You can't really see it, but you play as me on the bottom, and a bunch of Vinny heads fly down and try
it's
to.
It's the constant battle between me and you. We're the most contentious podcast about the Atari that ever existed. So anyway, that's interesting. So those your winners will get that, right? You having a contest?
We haven't done anything yet, but we're considering it. We'd have to get you to sign off on it and a few other things.
Okay.
But
I'll just sign my name, Vinny, the Atari 7800 Pro Gamer.
Pro Gamer, there you go. So Ramey in the very beginning said the DLC for the Atari 50th, he was not impressed. I think.
Hey, can I say that this is the thing? And I'm sorry. I know you need it. You're busy today, and I won't stop with every comment. I agree with Ramey and his new hernia, or his new butthole, or whatever he got. I agree with him. The DLC didn't make me squeal with glee. I just it hurts so hard. I feel like I wanted it just to have it with the other stuff.
Right. Yeah, I think it helped to complete the collection. Super Nacho, what I don't understand is why they couldn't do the DLC like a second game on the VCS, like VCS Vault 1 and 2. That's an interesting thought. If they put it out standalone for $1.99 or $5.99, or what, would you buy it?
No. I mean, it's got to be. I think it's got to be with the other, because it's not just games. They're releasing like those.
Yeah, it's all the
stuff.
And that's what made the Atari 50th so cool too.
Yeah, absolutely. You learn the history of the thing.
Right.
So it made
Let's
it's like this game was
see.
important because that kind of thing.
And Stream was a huge reason to get the VCS for a while. Now, obviously, it's available on other consoles, like Ramey said.
Yeah, they keep taking out $12 every January. They just did, and I haven't played that thing in 2 years. So
Yeah, that's what they count on.
I need to figure out how to cancel that shit.
Flan Man 113. I bought the VCS this Christmas knowing it would give me problems, and it did. It's a great looking compact PC for me to play my Steam and GOG library and DOS Age. So this is what a lot of people do with it. They just put it in PC mode and they use it as a little emulator. And
nerd, get out of here, nerd. Go outside, nerd.
That's probably the way to go, honestly. But for people like me and Vinny, we don't. We
have no idea.
Yeah, we just want it for the stock.
I have no idea how to do that. I need to get a nerd over here to fix that shit and make it cool.
Oh, Ramey said one DLC is M Network, the second is just more Atari games. So yeah,
what are the? I don't know why I didn't do research on that. It's so funny. It's been out for so long, I just forgot about it, and I thought that I knew what it was. But is there like Desert Falcon for the 7800? Is that one of them? I mean, that seems like
it might be. I think there was. Yeah, Desert Falcon.
Yeah.
Trucker Todd LLC. The reason it never took off is because they never fully supported it. When was the last time you saw a VCS commercial? Why were systems shipping that didn't work? Zip code glitch, etc. Yeah, that's exactly it. They never threw. They always did the bare minimum is what I got out of it. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, you got to think the first year of the VCS, it was abysmal, man. It was total.
I wasn't there for that, but yeah.
I mean, there are videos of people going, "What? Why do we have this?" I mean, it was basically an expensive pack and play or plug and play.
Pack and play. Put your baby in your VCS. Yeah. Cafe Man 2D, long time watcher, first time commenter. No, I don't know. 125 watches sold out immediately at $409. That's crazy that they sold out. They knew what they were doing. They must have priced it at that sweet spot.
Nerds have so freaking some money. They have disposable income because you don't spend it on women.
Right, exactly, and that frees up a lot of money. No women, no kids, lots of cool shit.
I get a lot of cool shit.
Yeah. Jeremiah Thomas, if you remember the free 2023 holiday update, people who had not upgraded their storage on the VCS had a heck of a time downloading the update. That is true, actually. Remember when that first update came out and they put out like the cryptic, figure out what games it was, like a basketball and 2 eyeballs, and you'd have to figure out that was double dunk or whatever. That update caused it made it hard for a lot of people to download on stock systems. Just because they were out of room, and you needed not only enough room for the update, but it seemed like for some reason you needed enough room for the whole game.
That now. Yeah, they were sending out. They were sending out like weird emojis, and you had to figure out what games they were. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was fun actually.
That was cool. Fun. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Crypto Coffee 13. They do have a small staff, but it's been a few years, and that is a critical element to having a successful business. So I don't know, shouldn't be happening at this juncture. Yeah, I feel like they should have invested into their customer service and sales team and stuff. And then Crypto also said he had Kush too. You and you are Kush buddies, I guess.
Keep that on a DL. It's not legal in this state, man.
Obsidian says Sky Frizz runs better in PC mode. Sky Frizz works a lot better now on the OS. I believe that's Obsidian's game. When he first told me his game was getting released and I downloaded it, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be rude, but man, this is kind of rough." But I played it the other day with the updates, and it plays really, really good. I actually am been enjoying it quite a bit. So thank you, Obsidian.
He also did Doodle Taxi. If you're ever
he's involved. He's involved in a lot of games.
You know the whole reason I brought up me and you getting into the argument is because I made an announcement on that podcast. So this may help you guys a little bit. Maybe this isn't going to be great with the VCS, but maybe it will. Is that I know for a fact, and I can't say who, there is a 7800 game in development from Atari, and it may get released on the VCS too. So,
that's right. Yeah, I watched a little bit more, and I saw that.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I even brought that up. So yeah, there's hope. There's going to be new stuff being released this year. Maybe not what we want, but yeah.
Super Nacho and Sabretooth Retro, pretty much at the same time, said that the VCS stuff is a shirt, a hat, a coffee mug, and one of those patches too. So,
well, couldn't the VCS also just mean the old Atari, or does
it could?
Do you think they mean it's this new thing?
I imagine they probably have artwork that alludes
Okay.
to the new one. Probably, I guess. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Obsidian agrees with, I think, with your line of reasoning that the VCS should get more of the homebrew, which makes sense. Let's see. Metro says emulators on a low-end PC better than the new Atari Pluses. I actually own originals with Harmony Kart paddle games better than emulators. So basically, I think he's saying that you get a cheap low-end PC, and then that's better than getting the Atari 7800 Plus. But I think he's saying it's also better if you have the actual hardware to play paddle games is better than emulators. So, yeah, I don't think that's.
I don't know why you'd play old Atari games on a computer, but that's just me.
Yeah, I used to emulate, and I never, it never felt right. I like having the
weird.
stuff.
Yeah.
Metro got beat up by a homeless guy. Oh no, he was referring to when you said that.
They wouldn't be in the club.
Yeah.
It was like a snipe hunt.
Operation Shutdown said that was a great podcast episode that you were on, Vinny. Retro Bliss Rewind for people that want to find it and watch it.
I think I'm going to start pretending to be John on more podcasts.
There you go. You do a lot better with my name and my.
I do. I'm going to get like a beard and the glasses, and I'm going to be like,
go.
"Hey everyone, I'm
Pop
John."
a tooth out. Yeah.
Hey
guys, I fight a rat for a sandwich. I like Atari.
Yeah.
Let's see. Super Nacho says the BCS got my 11-year-old to actually like gaming. She hates modern games. It's to the point her mom is talking about buying her one for her house too. I think Atari can lean. Yeah, hurry. Don't wait. But I think Atari could lean into that more because their games are pick up and play. They kind of almost have that. I don't want to say cell phone, but that kind of, you can play it and just set it down and leave without having to invest. Like, you don't need to sit down and say, I'm going to, put aside 3 hours to play God of War. You can play Missile Command Recharge for 15 minutes and be done and not have to.
And I think that goes against the whole thing with the VCS too. Is like the VCS is so hard to get to work to play these easy games, and that's why people like these games. Is because you take the cartridge, you plop it in, you hit start, you're playing a game. You're not sitting there waiting for they're not trying to get you to buy crap online, and you're not downloading stuff. It's totally counterproductive.
It is. Crypto Coffee says they need to do something if they think it will last 2 or 3 years, upgrades, BIOS, updates, or a new version of VCS. So basically, I think he's saying if I said it would last another 2 or 3 years, he's saying if it's going to, they need to do something big, either an upgrade, a BIOS, updates, or something. No, I don't think they will. I think they'll just keep it in the form it is, and that's going to be it.
It won't. There won't be an announcement too. I think the VCS will die like an old guy. It'll be like he'll be out in the field somewhere, and he'll be like, "Where did he go?" You'll
read the obituary and say, "Oh yeah, okay."
He's on the farm running with the golden retriever that you had when you were 12 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Jolt 7800 wanted to clear something up for public knowledge. John is the pro gamer, also called Silverback. Vinny is Funkmaster V, also known as the Ghost Hunter and Hat Flipper.
And a pro wrestler and an actor. Yeah, so now people are going to think they're going to think you're a pro wrestler and a bass player too. Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully I don't get any gigs using your name.
You got pinned in 12 seconds.
Yeah. What the heck?
Why did you show up in sweatpants to that match?
Let's see. Our good friend, what is this? Ramey says it looks like the recharge games are going to the go first before other consoles too. I think he's basically saying the recharge games are going to be the first to go, or they're not doing them anymore.
Are going to go. Okay.
Yeah. 2025 prediction from Jeremiah Thomas. Atari buys Battlezone back, and we get a new Battlezone game on the VCS. Love it. Hope it happens.
Battlezone Recharged. That's wishful thinking, but I like it.
Wait, the Jaguar emulator is not working on the VCS yet. Doesn't it? It has to because Atari 50th works, right?
Well, and also I know I'm a part of one of the Facebook groups for this guy named John Phelan. Every day shows a brand new game, and he says the same thing. It's like Super Bomberman on my Atari VCS.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
He says that every day with some game, but he plays Jaguar games on it on the PC mode.
Yeah, I thought.
Unless
I
I'm wrong, but he plays everything on it. But I could have swore he played Jaguar games.
Uh-oh. The dog agrees. Operation Shutdown, that classic joystick is great. I agree. Look at that cutie knocking stuff over.
She's looking to see that's her new boyfriend in the background.
Jeremiah, some people are saying Atari should buy Rebellion, and Rebellion is in fact worth much more and much larger than Atari, I guess. So Jeremiah is stating that Rebellion's newest game just released last Thursday, Sniper Elite Resistance. Fingers crossed it bombs. So Rebellion, again, they did the what do you call it? Predator versus Alien versus Predator and the Jaguar, and the excellent Skyhammer. If you haven't played that and the Jaguar, that game is
okay.
That game really pushes the Jag.
And if they truly are bigger, that happens a lot where a smaller company will buy a bigger company. That happens.
Does it?
Yeah, it's weird. Wow. It's what GameStop bought.
Oh yeah,
Electronics Boutique years and years ago. And
EB game, yeah,
EB Games.
A serious question from Joel. At some point, they stopped making the VCS. They already stopped making it, but do you think they will become even more collectible and the price would increase?
No, I don't think so because the store is going to shut down. So then you're just going to have this thing.
Yeah, it would just be whatever's downloaded on there.
It will be a weird, it'll be a weird computer.
Well, I was going to say, because you could probably do the PC mode thing, because I don't think people can do that without any assistance from Atari. So I guess it would serve some function.
But why would you want that?
Maybe for the design. I don't know. I think because its initial price is high, it will always be high, but I don't think it'll be like a super desirable collectible.
It's too fucking. It's a disaster to get going.
Hugo wants to know why so early. It's 11:30 our time. I know if you're on the coast that Hugo's on, it's like 8 a.m. in the morning. So I apologize, but this is the only time I'm available, and I actually have to wrap up really soon here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
John is doing this podcast to me as a favor, by the way, and he's he's been very busy this weekend. And anyway.
John David says Skinny and Franco, Yars Recharge, Neo Sprint, and Yars Rising are pretty good on VCS. I agree with all those, although I haven't played Skinny and Franco. I've seen it on there, but Yars Recharge is awesome. That's probably, I think that might be my favorite Recharge game is Yars Recharge.
I love the feeling of it. It feels I don't know. It's mysterious because you don't know what's going to. It changes every game, so it's not the same game every time, and you progress. In a way, and it feels like an old school game and a new game at the same time. It's really that's a good flavor. Neo Sprint is goofy as
Neo Sprint's good. I think it actually got worse with the updates. I think they hit a sweet spot midway through, and then they messed with it too much.
They made it too easy.
Yep, that's how I feel.
They made it too easy.
Yours Rising is fine. I think it's just very safe. It's a safe Metroidvania with very bad characters. Is my opinion on that, but yep, all good games regardless. They're all worth playing, I'd say.
And there's a million more games on there that are good.
Yeah. If you want to see another console that gets no support, check out the 5200, the 7800, and the 2600. Get all the spotlight. 5200 is it's because the cartridges are different.
Well, in what we're talking about now, there's no good games on the 5200 that Atari owns the license of that isn't on the 7800. I say no. There's very little. They don't even own Kangaroo anymore. I mean, there's
oh wow.
There's like Kangaroo. Yeah, they sold, and I don't know what anybody does with Kangaroo. And also the homebrew scene sucks on the 5200 compared to the 7800 and the 2600. So there's no new lifeblood in those games either. So that's why. You could take Audacity, who's not even associated with Atari. They just made Casey's Gold. You can take this new product that just was released this year and play it on a 7800 plus.
Yeah.
And also the 5200 controllers are so terrible. They're hard to emulate and hard to replicate. And the non-centering joystick is a POS. And that's why the 5200 is left out in the cold a lot of times. So it's not just because they hate it. It's just because there's nothing to do. They don't have a lot. The 5200 doesn't have a lot of games like Alien Brigade or Midnight Mutants or Planet Smashers that are unique.
It is, they tried to recycle a lot of 2600 stuff and do like slight improvements, but there are some good things on it, and there's modern controller solutions that work very well, but they're always so expensive though, and I think they have to be to recoup the money they invest. But
number pads and stuff.
Dad 72, they didn't support it with several games that would have helped. Wade rarely even mentions it, referring to the VCS. Yeah, absolutely. Jeremiah Thomas says David Page did explain why it was so hard to fix the update glitch. The company who made them used 3 different chips or something and did not tell Atari. So every time Atari tried to fix the update glitch, they were fixing for just one of the 3 chips. So I think he's referring to the
VCS.
Yeah, zip code glitch, I believe. Or the update glitch.
That's what happened when your programmers only speak Bangladesh. I don't know who they used, but it seems pretty crazy.
And then Jeremiah says homebrew developers have to agree to put their games on the Atari store. Atari cannot just put whatever game they want on there. Yeah, I think that's sort of understood. You know, we're not saying that they can just do whatever they want, but I think a lot of people,
any Atari programmer is going to want their stuff on an Atari system.
I think it would be a dream come true for a lot of people to
but that may be why Vlad is from Chile. They may not be able to know how to get a hold of him. They may have to like ring the central hut in this village or whatever down there to try to find him. They don't know his real name.
2 cups on the line. That's how they let's see. Toe Muncher, our favorite muncher of toes. What could be possible is to bring N64, Dreamcast, etc. homebrew games onto Atari VCS. I think it would be possible. I just don't think those people would be interested as much as our homebrew guys.
You can do it in the PC mode. With emulators.
Ramey says Vinny can be like Gallagher 2. It could be a sequel to Gallagher.
Can't wait.
Let's see. Maurice Samuel, Virtual Tours. Bringing TOS, Terms of Service, to the Atari VCS would unlock a wealth of classic Falcon and ST games, offering a richer gaming experience. Yeah, they don't seem to leverage that era of games, like the ST computer era. There's a lot of...
And there's a lot of games that you could from that era, too, and they just kind of went like a fart in the wind. They never really go back and celebrate those.
Yeah, Jeremiah just reiterating it works through Atari 50th. They said it does not work through the Atari OS itself yet, referring to the Jaguar Big P emulator. Yep. I know that John Bellinguy's post, he says VCS like 4 times in every post. Yeah, I like him. I like seeing his stuff.
People have said, shut this guy up. And I was like, let him. I think it's interesting to see what he gets to work. I can't get it to work. Let him have fun. You know?
Yeah, he ain't hurting anybody. Let him enjoy it.
Yeah, mute him if you don't like him.
What I don't get is they updated Atari 51, so why can't they do it again? Some sort of limitation. It's probably not worth the effort, honestly. I mean, I'm sure they could if they really wanted to, but it's probably more work than it's worth. Whoa, the dog's knocking the camera over.
They said it was a size issue, which makes no sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if it's too big, it doesn't fit. You know, so
my first 2 wives left me because of size. And
really?
I'm used to this complaint. Yeah. No, they were too big. Their vaginas were like,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wonder if like maybe I'm not small, they're just big, you know?
Yes. That's exactly the problem.
Let's see,
what are you putting in there?
They never owned Kangaroo. It was a Sun Electronics game.
That's true. They licensed it. Yes.
Yeah. With Bounty Bob Strikes
These
Back.
people are so smart in the chat, man.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I can just say whatever, and then I can get called like that. I wish the news was like that, where they would have people going, "You're wrong."
Right.
Yeah.
And then Joel M. Last comment. We're all caught up on comments. I use EMU 7800, play 7800 and 2600 games on the VCS and PC mode. Works pretty good. Yeah, I think they're generally pretty easy to get working. So to surmise, I guess we're saying, at least my opinion on the whole VCS thing, I think they're doing the best they can. I think to appease everybody, the only other thing they could do is say you could get the Atari 50th and the DLC on a console of your choosing, or maybe a first-party Atari game on the VCS. I'm sorry, but I don't even think they need to go that far, honestly. I think they extended the olive branch in typical company fashion. They made it difficult to obtain. You have to take the measures to get your product, but I never like it when companies do that. But
the reason is they don't know if you have a Switch or in Steam.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean,
I just wish they'd reach out to you and say our records indicate this. Just reply back to us, and we'll get you the code.
Or we would like to give you a free game.
Right.
And here's the deal. You're a loyal customer. Super Nacho also said, "Yeah, we know that you weren't. We know the spirit of that comment. We know that you weren't hating on John." But the other thing too. I know you don't have any time, but we'll talk about this next time. Is there's a Mortal Kombat, a playable Mortal Kombat on the Atari Jaguar, where I guess the AI is working now.
Oh, the AI is working now?
That's what I saw. So you can test the new Mortal Kombat for the Jaguar, which is cool.
Yeah, I seen you say you sent me a thing that said the Jaguar Mortal Kombat's playable, and I was like, yeah, I played it. But you meant the AI works now.
The AI is working, from what I understand.
I was like, man, Vinny really doesn't pay attention, because
Hey, I want to. You got a new video too about ET on the computer.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I haven't watched the video. I will today, and I can't wait to watch it. But it's a different game than the 2600. Yeah, one bark for yes.
Yes,
but yeah, it's a different game than the 2600, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, very different. What's funny is you're doing the same objective, but it's a different game. You're trying to make the phone so that ET can phone home. But
say no more. We'll all watch it. And also, I know you got to get to work because you're a very busy man. Check out. I'm going to be in Hauntlanta at Hauntlanta, the Paranormal and Horror Movie Con, March 14th through 16th. That weekend, and come see me down there, and I will sign whatever body part I can legally sign, depending on age and consent laws in the state of Georgia. I'll be selling a lot of our horror movies that we make at Big and Funky Productions. I also have, I am not John Stoll. I am not the Atari 7800 Pro Gamer. I am my own human with my own YouTube channel called Big and Funky Productions, and I'm going to release a new video for the Atari 7800 this week.
Hey, put the link back in the chat, Vinny, for the hot. I'm trying to find it. I was going to put it up for you.
Well, thank you.
But I can't find it for some reason. Oh, I found it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. See Vinny live at Hauntlanta, March 14th through 16th.
Yes, and I'll be down there, and I'll be performing or doing something. But anyway, man, thanks for doing this. I know, I know you've had a tight weekend, and you had to squeeze us in, and I appreciate you doing that for me.
Always have fun doing the podcast and talking with you in the chat. Don't forget, hit the like button on your way out. Don't forget to share the podcast with anybody you think might be interested in it. And don't forget, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/7800progamer, $2 or $5 a month. You can get a YouTube membership. I think that's $5. Early access to videos, exclusive unboxings, all that stuff. Other than that, guys, we've had a lot of fun. We couldn't start the stream with a choo-choo. You want to end it with a choo-choo?
Choo-choo! It's time to ride the funk train and to get my sex-addicted dog to her boyfriend's house for the weekend.
Dog. Get the dog off the train.
See you, man.
See you.